Hey everybody, this is Brad Bruce and I'm here with
Jace Marsiglia.
And you are listening to the 5195 podcast.
Coast to coast.
To worship Satan, you must kill goats.
I'm sorry.
It's a shirt.
It's a shirt.
That's a shirt.
Yeah.
I already see it in my head. That's a shirt.
It's an Exodus move, too. I could do it and hop on a plane. And by the time people hear this, I will probably be in the fucking air.
Yeah, I think so.
He's pretty close.
What are we dropping this Friday around 5:30?
Your time.
Yeah, so that's 8:30 your time. So I mean, you should already be in the air.
Yeah, I should be wheels up by the time this drops. So
yeah, getting close to Vegas.
Jason is leaving tonight on a plane.
So let me ask you this question: what is the worst thing about traveling?
The worst?
Yeah.
Okay. Now that I've done it enough, because obviously 2023, I cruised back and forth from your place, what, 4 times?
Yeah,
3, 4
so.
times?
Yeah.
So with layovers and shit, that's probably an up-down of at least 6 to 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
The only time it became a problem was, I think I was going home the time before last, and I left Ontario, landed in Vegas. It was like maybe an hour flight, whatever. And I might have had like a 20-minute window to find my connecting gate, okay? And mind you, I'm not that familiar with the Vegas airport. It's pretty big.
Right.
But the problem was we landed relatively on time. Like, I was like, okay, good. I probably got a good, I don't know, hour to find where I'm going.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sweating it. We were taxiing for our gate for damn near 45 minutes. So now I've got cold sweats.
Yeah.
And I'm like, shit. And of course, this is the end of the vacation. I'm going home. All you want to do is just fucking get home. Right. And the stewardess and everybody's like, those of you with connecting flights, I believe it was to Detroit, Philadelphia, and Ohio, you may not be in good shape. So I'm like, fuck. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because I've had layovers that have been like 3 hours. I bring a book. You know, I'll get there. I'll go through security. I'll sit and just take a nap or read a book or something, whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm there. But when I stepped off the tarmac into the airport, I heard over the intercom, last call boarding Detroit at gate whatever. And I was like, where the fuck do I go? And luckily, and in that instance, it was like maybe football field length away.
Uh-huh.
So I hustled over and just as they were shutting the door, I was like, one more. And she's like, go on in. You know.
Wow.
So
fucking 0 hour.
0 hour, yeah. So, I mean, that got me a little clammy, right? You know, that gives you a bit of the swamp ass because you're sweating from everywhere. Now, I have a similar layover coming out to you tonight. I go from Detroit to Vegas again, and then the connecting flight is literally 31 minutes from the time I land. Last time I was in Vegas, I had to take 2 different shuttles going in 2 different directions to get to the terminal that my gate was. So this time I'm a little more prepared. I downloaded a map of the fucking airport.
Yeah.
Once I get my itinerary where they finalized gates and all that shit, if I can at least see a plan of attack, I'm straight. Just get me there. I'll fucking panic when my feet are on the ground if you need me to.
Right.
But at least this time, I won't be like, where the fuck do I go? You know, that's the only part of all this traveling that sucks is connecting flights without a whole lot of time to do it.
Yeah.
Because when you're a little bit on the husky side, running isn't great. You shouldn't run in an airport anyway. It makes you look suspect.
Don't you, when you travel, you wear like a turban and like a big beard?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And like a green army vest?
just some, like bullet belts and
Some sandals, yeah. Okay.
and I set a briefcase down over here. And Jesus Christ, we're gonna get in so much trouble for this episode. Anyway, but no, it's like I've already made it to where, like I told you, I was like, I've got clothes at your place, I've got toiletries and whatever,
Yeah.
All I really got to do is throw my computers in a bag and just get on the fucking plane. It's not even a matter anymore of lugging shit.
Yeah, no baggage claim stuff.
No. And it's just, it couldn't be more in and out, you know. It's just a matter of familiarizing myself with the terminals, knowing where to go. And so far, it's been relatively the same. I think Vegas, and I think I was in Denver, Colorado twice last year. I haven't really gone to too many airports. So I'm kind of trying to mental note where things are just to kind of deaden the panic a little bit. I'm a nervous traveler.
Are you? Just for that simple reason of just making sure
That's it. Yeah,
all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed?
I get a little finicky when, like right now, my tickets, well, they're not even tickets yet. It's just the schedule.
Yeah.
They're not even showing the chairs that I bought.
Nice.
Okay. And, I paid for them. I checked my credit card. They're there. And I strategically bought seats where it was like, when I land in Vegas, I'm in like one of the first 2 rows. I'll be the first to get the fuck off. Yeah, the itinerary on my app hasn't even updated with that shit. So I'm like, I'm trying to keep my eyes from twitching. But there's that. And then the hustle, because otherwise, once I'm on the plane and buckled up, I'm like, let's just roll. There's I'm not nervous about the flight or the travel. It's everything that leads up.
Well, I think it's just also it's chaotic and unorganized.
It is. It's super chaotic.
And then nobody wants to help you. Nobody wants to give you the answers, and it's like, you're here every fucking day. You know this place like the back of your hand. Just tell me where I gotta go. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
These aren't personable people. It's like the DMV.
Exactly.
They could not make it more clear that you are bugging them.
Yeah.
With a simple question, typically, I mean, the look I got once for having a backpack and going, I thought on the website I didn't have to check this because it's a backpack.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of verifying. I would have paid for it if I had to check it.
Right.
But the way this chick's eyes glazed over to me, like, are you fucking kidding me asking me this right now? And I'm like, what? You know what I mean? I'm like, the flight doesn't leave for like an hour and a half. You can't give me a yes or no in that time. But it was so rude and like impatient. And it's like, when I do meet someone cool at an airport, I'm like, all right, cool, good on you.
Yeah.
But they're very angry.
Yeah.
And the thing is, to their credit, I've sat and people watched at the airport. There's some fucking stupid people flying, man.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I mean, I told you about the one guy. It might have been the first time I flew out there last year. The dude had a slight Spanish accent. I understood everything the guy said, and I'm standing 20 feet away. The middle-aged, white-haired guy in the Hawaiian shirt, however, was like, could you go get me someone who speaks fucking English? And I'm sitting here like, it could be a lot worse, Grandpa. I'm like, now you're just being a dick because you want to be a dick.
Oh, you were traveling with your grandpa.
You can't take him anywhere. But no, it was just, it was like, I get that you probably get rude people, and it's just, I mean, any customer service job is fucking garbage. I'm sorry. Nobody treats people in customer service well. And if you worked in it, you're automatically already kinder to the people because
Oh, of course.
You know that by the time you get there with your question, they've probably had the shittiest fucking day. And that's why I'm always like super cool. Like, hey, buddy, no big rush. Just wondered this real quick.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, they're just like, oh, yeah, this or that, But you get that one odd person who gives me that look like, why didn't you know this before you got here? And I'm like, I don't have the fake storage bin to stuff it in to see it home. It's just, ugh. So, yeah, it's the travel part isn't the bad part. It's the prep, the landing, the lack of communication, the terminal hopping. It's just, once I'm on the plane, man, it's easy peasy.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's like, I I like traveling. I do. I like being in the air. I like planes. But it's just all that fucking prep and all the bullshit. Like, if you can get like a, TSA clearance and stuff like that, cool, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know one of the things that, like, I flew out to you over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Things have changed where I go through TSA, show you my ticket, get on the plane.
Right.
Now it's like you have your ticket, you did buy it, we don't have room for you.
Yeah, it's fucking weird, man.
And I'm like, how in this day and age of spreadsheets and automatic calculations and all this, how does a local movie theater know when it's at capacity and the fucking airport doesn't? Can someone answer me that? Like, how does Spirit Airlines go, yeah, you booked this a month in advance, but you didn't click this box within 24 hours of us talking right now, and now you've been bumped.
It's fucking insane, man.
Every single time I've come out, Brad, every single time, I'll be sitting on the plane, I'm ready to go, I'm buckled up, I'm comfortable, I'm just ready to roll, right?
Mm-hmm.
Someone will raise a hand, a worker, a flight attendant, whatever. Is there someone on the flight willing to take a later one in order for someone else to take their place? And I'm like, you guys got like a Rolodex on your desk? Are you using an abacus? I like, what primitive math technology are you using that you're like, oh fuck, there's 50 people that we didn't account for on a plane that seats 40? It just seems like the dumbest thing. I'm like, now I could order my seats to go to a movie and the fucking usher will come up and be like, you're in the wrong seat.
Yep.
It's so tightly organized at a movie theater, and we're not even in the fucking air. I'm like, how do airports function, man? I just don't get it. And I'll see it on the news constantly. So-and-so's being sued for this, or this airline is going under because of that. And I'm like, these are easy fixes, people. I mean, half the problems they have, you could solve with, like, Microsoft Excel.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
I'm like, what? I'm not even a computer nerd, but I'm like, are you guys playing Pong over there? Is it like an Apple II? I just don't get it, man. I'm like, it's such an inconvenience. It's no wonder people flip out.
Yeah.
Because it's expensive to fly. It's not a cheap thing. And if you've packed $300-400 into a round trip and suddenly they're like, you're SOL.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. You want to go nuclear. So
sure. I'm sorry I asked.
I really wish you hadn't, because my blood pressure right now.
Let's just start the show over and I'll just delete all that bullshit.
All right, see you guys.
So, aside from all that, I've been experiencing weird shit with screenwriting shit, so I just wanted to get caught up on where you're at with it.
Plot twist. I've almost completely pivoted now to the comedy. I don't know why. I had mentioned to you earlier today about how things fell into place like tumblers in a lock.
Yeah.
And it was just, that's how it felt. I came up with like one or two ideas that I'm suddenly like, oh, I could get a big chunk of this script done either before I leave or when I land. And it's obviously a more fun script to deal with than the other one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of took a little break from the other one because it was just so dark. I had a really bad depression episode last week before, where I was through, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know for sure if the script had anything to do with it. I think there were other circumstances that just piled up. But I knew going in I was going to be in a bad mindset for that script to work the way it should.
Right.
Yeah, I hit a weird low point and was like, no, I'm not going to fuck with this one right now. So I kind of just didn't write for a few days. And then I had the small idea about the Texas Chainsaw Crawl, about the funny one that we talked about. And then it was like, this idea came to me, then that one, and then this one. And I'm like, okay. Let me get it down, you know, because the dam was breaking a little bit, And now I've got pretty much the comedy almost completely outlined. So I'm damn near close to having 2 complete outlines that I could just work off of either one now.
Oh, that's
The
awesome.
bullet points are just about finished.
Yeah.
And of course, obviously, you and any other writer knows it could veer wildly off of what you outlined. But at the very least, I have this structure
Yeah.
that I can follow.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, the comedy is it's coming along pretty funny. So this will be my my ode to Kevin Smith in a way. This will be my stupid fun comedy kind of thing.
Yeah, that's cool. I can't wait to read it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I kind of got blindsided a little bit myself.
Yeah, you said you hit like a strange
Well, what happened was, I was working on this midlife crisis movie, this slasher comedy, and it was fun. I was introducing new characters, and everything was going accordingly. And I think I told you that I'd uploaded a few scripts to that ink tip.
Yes.
And so I'm kind of one of these guys where like I'll do it, and I forget it. I don't care. I don't check it. I don't obsessively look at it. I don't do all. I don't care. It is what it is. If someone wants to get a hold of me, they'll get a hold of me.
Yeah.
So I put them up there, and I just kind of let it alone. And then I noticed that I had got an email from Inktip, and it was like, okay, so we're going over your scripts, and we noticed that this one's a little short and this one's a little short. It was like, okay, and I think we talked about this.
You did say that. I didn't know that they said it about 2. I know for 1 that they were like...
Well, they had hit me with another one after the fact. Okay. They hit me with another one. And so...
when does that happen? Usually the shorter the better, I thought.
Well, that's what I thought, because like there is a writer friend that I have. I'd always asked him this question of like, how long should a script be? And he's like, he told me the script needs to be as long as it takes to just tell the fucking story. That's it.
I've never heard that.
He's like, I don't write, I need 120 pages. No, I write until the story is done. Then that's my page count. I don't have like, okay, well, I need 99 pages, so I got to write to 99 pages. He goes, it's taking some of the creativity out of the developing of the story when you do that.
I had a 98-page script once a long time ago.
Yeah.
I was told you're over the line.
Okay, and you know what? I've heard that too.
Like, nobody's going to read this. It's too long. They're going to thumb through it, see the page count, and be like, nope.
Fuck this. Exactly. So one of my scripts was 78 pages.
Which is probably ideal.
That's what I thought. And then the other one was 88 pages.
Again, I feel like it's right in the wheelhouse.
That's what I thought too. And they were like, you need to be minimum 90 to 120 pages. I'm like, are you fucking serious? Like, what the fuck? I'm like, okay, the 88 page one, I can squeeze a couple pages out, I think, to get where I need to be.
Yeah.
But 78, stretching that to 90 pages, like a story that I feel is already done.
Yeah.
That's a lot, dude. So I sat down with this script and I read it and I read it. I must have read the thing like 5 times back to back. Then I thought about it, and I'm like, okay, what can I do? Like, what can I change? What can I add to this? I don't know. And I started talking to Tina. I was like, hey, you know what? What do you think about this? Or adding this? And she was like, yeah. And her reaction wasn't like, yeah, that's a fucking great idea. It was kind of like,
a little bit of milquetoast.
Yeah, exactly. And so she did make a suggestion that I was able to take and add a solid 7 pages.
Okay.
So I added a whole new scene. I added a couple of creepy moments, a little bit of foreshadowing. And like, I'll be honest with you, man. I think after I was done, I think I had like 84, 85 pages after the new scene. And I'm like, okay, I still got to fucking add in a good 6. I'm like, okay, what the fuck am I going to do? Where am I going to add this shit in? So I go back to the fucking beginning of the script and I start beefing up their dialogue, not making it longer, but just adding a little bit to each thing. And dude, it took me probably 2 full days to do both scripts. It just took the fucking wind out of my sails. I had 0 creativity to do anything.
Well, here's what's funny, and this is what I'm getting kind of hung up on here. The advice was you write until the story is told, right?
Yes. That is from a colleague that I used to work with.
Correct. At 77 pages, 80,
Yeah.
If you were happy with it, wouldn't you say the story's been told?
That's what I thought.
To your satisfaction.
Yeah.
And the industry, who was always looking for ways to cut pages out, wants you to add to something that you already thought was fine.
Yes.
I would be so confused. I am so confused.
Mm-hmm.
Because this isn't what I've been taught.
Yeah. Well, here, let me read you the email I got from them. Like, I won't say the name of the title, but it just says,
No, that's fine. That's fine.
It's like, hey, Brad, thanks for the email. It looks like blank is now more aligned with the industry standard page count for a feature. Looks good. If you have any questions, please let us know. That's what I got after I did it. I had never heard that. Like, so I even actually, I fucking texted a couple other people I know in the industry. And I was like, have you heard of this? And they were like, no.
Like, is this just how we roll now?
Yeah. Well, one guy was like, no, I've never heard of that. And then this other guy was like, oh, yeah, no, dude, it's got to be a minimum 90. I'm like, are you fucking, when did this happen?
That's what I mean. Like,
when did that
memo go out?
Why would and this site, and don't get me wrong, I'm not bashing the site. They're fucking super on top of their shit. They answer extremely quick. Yeah. They let you know who's looking at your stuff. Like, I've already had about 8, 9 different production companies view my stuff. And like, these are like bigger production companies that they've done shit. So, and like, when we're done, I'll tell you who these people were and it's, who they are. And I'm like, cool, being a couple days in and to get this kind of attention, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. It really like, it just fucking blindsided me. I didn't write for like maybe 2-3 days.
This isn't even the stuff that we've talked about where we're like, you don't need to go to film school to learn how to be creative.
Right.
It's not that kind of industry advice. It's the stuff we were told strictly will get your shit thrown out is now no longer
valid.
The issue. No longer valid.
Yeah.
In fact, if you don't write a fucking epic, you're going to have to now.
Right. Like, and that was the thing too, is I was like, well, wait a minute now. If I'm writing like 90 to 120 pages, like we're looking at like an hour and a half, 2-hour feature. And your budget is like $100,000 to like $1 million. How? Mm-hmm. That's fucking impossible.
See, that's what's funny. I have a script that, I won't name either, but I sent it to several places and it was 130 pages.
Yeah.
And I knew it was at the time above industry standard, but I was like, I believed enough in the story that I'm like, this script hits the ground running. Mm-hmm. It doesn't really let up. I'm hoping that the amount of action and engagement will, the end will justify the means. And the biggest takeaway I got was, great idea, love the concept, too long, sorry.
Yeah.
And the thing was, it didn't surprise me, because that's what we were told to expect. And I was taking a chance. I was like, I'm probably going to be told to fuck off, but it's almost like if I were to send that same script now, like, would my door get beaten down?
Yeah.
I don't know. I seriously don't know. It's so ass backwards.
It definitely, I was taken aback when that when that unfolded. It didn't make sense to me, I was like, okay, well, I thought 78 minutes, like that was it was like the perfect length, like everything was right there. There was no lulls. There was no downtime. It was just, you weren't being hit over the head continuously, but it was just, it had a good pace to it.
Right.
And then having to add like fucking 12 to 13 pages of all new scenes. And it's like,
which I guess would just be additional exposition. I mean,
yeah, but that's the thing too, is that like, how much do you need?
Yeah. I mean, that was going to be my next question was, were you going to have to come up with an entirely new sequence to shoehorn in that wasn't supposed to be there before?
Yeah.
It screws up the flow.
It did screw up, dude. It did. Like, it really did. But you know what? Okay, of course now I'm just licking my wounds, because I mean, I was able to do it, and now I feel, okay, well, I can do it again if I need to.
Sure.
I mean, I'd never had to punch up one of my own scripts to that degree,
Oh.
where I was like, I was more in shock. You know what I mean? Like, I was more in shock that, like, oh no, these are, what is this, a short film? I felt attacked, It's just like, oh, you call yourself a writer? You can't even write 90 pages, and it's just like, what?
This is a sitcom.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck just happened? Because I remember giving one draft I gave of the Vinyl Redemption to Manfredini. I think it was like 146 pages. And he was just like, you're fucking kidding me, right? With this shit.
Oh, he said the same thing about Cathedral.
Yeah.
And I don't even think it was over 110.
Yeah.
I
don't know. I don't know.
Times they are changing.
I guess so. But I digress, because I was able to put the midlife crisis one on the back burner for a little bit, and I sort of jumped headfirst into a movie called Overnights that I've been wanting to write for a very, very long time. And it just seemed right to me. It's kind of in that wheelhouse of the Vinyl Redemption. Mm-hmm. And it's a very 80s centric movie.
Okay.
And because it just captures one of those 24-hour films.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Which I loved so much, because it's just, you're off the hook with a lot of things with those,
Sure.
Continuity is as long as you're on point, you know what I mean? Like, you have a good outline. Your continuity is pretty fucking solid. Because
you're confined to that 24-hour thing,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a few locations, but they're more establishing. I don't really return to these locations.
Okay.
So it's like when someone leaves, that's it. They're done. There's no reason to keep going back, because it's one day. So if he's going out to do this, then there's no reason to go back. Everything is like pushing forward.
So you're not going to be tangled up in permits and...
Right. Well, I'm not making this. I'm writing this to sell. So whoever does it, they're not, and again, and I'm just writing it that way because to me, that's the way the story makes sense. There's no reason to continuously go back to his house. So I've already established it. I know that's like the risk is like losing the house and all this shit. And I'm being very vague, but I outlined the thing in like 2 days, and now I'm just, banging it out. I started yesterday. I started late in the evening, last night. And I mean, I'm only like 12, 13 pages in. I'm not too far in. I'll do a few more tonight because it's fun. But that's another thing that I've been doing, is stopping while my momentum is good.
Okay, explain that.
Okay, this is the first time I've ever tried to do this. So writing this midlife crisis movie, I would write it to a point of there's a mini resolution. Okay. So I would write to a scene, and then there's no more element of surprise, or there's no shock, or there's no cliffhanger. I would write it and get it to where it needs to be, and then there's no more ramp up. What I was told was write and have a good time, and when you're really cooking and it's fun, stop right then and there and put it down. Don't yeah. And I was told that because that anticipation and fun and joy is going to remain, because you're able to get right back into that point where you were at, because you were excited.
Oh, I never thought about it like that.
Yeah. So last night I was writing and I was like having a fucking great time. And, there's like this nice lighthearted moment between one of their friends' bosses and then these two guys. And I'm like, oh my God, this is fucking really fun. And then a kid hit me and I was like, oh, I'm going to stop. I didn't want to stop. I didn't want to at all, Right. But as soon as I stopped, it's been on my mind ever since. Oh my God, I cannot wait to fucking pick this up and finish this. And it's never been like that before. I'm always like, okay, I'm ready to write. And I get down and it's like it's a process. I do this, I do that, and I get everything, where I need, and I start writing. But right now, I'm like fucking excited to jump back into this vehicle that's already in motion, and like I can get those feelings going again. So in a weird way, this piece of advice helped.
It sounds like it did. Yeah. Cause, it's almost speed junkie. We've talked before in the past about how you get on this tangent and suddenly it's 3 a.m. and you're like, oh Jesus.
Yeah.
I gotta go to bed. And, but you wanted to get this out. You wanted it out on paper. And that'd be a hard thing for me to resist doing. You know, that's tricky.
It is tricky.
I understand why you should.
Yeah, because it's keeping the fire burning.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I've never done that before.
No. Oh my God. We're edging. It is.
No, it is. It totally is. It totally is. But you took me by surprise.
They want you to have screenwriting blue balls.
Yes.
You're right. I mean, I guess if you sat back down after this big moment, now you got to ramp yourself back up for the next moment. Now, I guess in a sliding scale kind of way, let's say you stopped where you did and you go to bed thinking tomorrow I get to revisit that moment. You're obviously going to finish that moment tomorrow. So isn't it just kind of delaying the inevitable anyway?
Well, no, because I think that's where you're always going to want to stop. Even if it's not a happy moment, maybe it's like a very intense moment, you know, like, because even like, as a writer, if you're writing something intense, there still is a level of gratitude and like positivity in your emotions for what you're creating.
Yes.
So if you're to stop right there, you're able to obtain that and live in that. Now, I'm not an expert. I mean, this is the first time I've done it and it worked the first time. It's not like this super like pivotal moment in the script where everything is resting on these scenes. It was just a really fun moment that everything was flowing. And so I was able to put a pin in it and step away. I retained all of that feeling. And like when I woke up this morning, my mind went right to that. Where I was like, oh shit, I can't wait to fucking write this. You know, and of course, I mean, the day got away from me. I had a bunch of shit I got to do, but I am going to write tonight because it's never not been on my mind of just jumping in. And it's crazy because when I started this script, I try to give myself, I try to knock out 6 to 10 pages a day. That's it.
Yeah.
Especially on the first draft, I just want to get it done.
Yeah.
Like I sat down, I got to be honest with you. I hit my, I think it was like a 12 count relatively quick.
Okay.
And I was like, all right, that was faster than usual. So what I did was I went back to crafting the scene, like kind of tightening it up on the paper, the interactions and what would make sense and what's going to lead it to the next scene.
Yeah.
I literally just closed my laptop. So now, I left it to where these guys are sitting in a taco shop. It's like an impasse for one of them of what's going to light the fuse to get the whole movie going. And we're going to start moving into the second act.
Sure.
So now tonight I'm jumping headfirst and I don't have a goal of where I want to get as far as a page count, but I do have a bit of a goal of where I want to get to where I can put a pin in it again and retain that excitement.
Because that was going to be my next question was you're going to have to find a way to ramp back up to that eventually anyway.
Right.
So I almost wonder, like, you fire your load and now you're like, I'm back to zero. I got to ramp back up. And the ramp up is tough.
The ramp up is tough, but I think doing it this way, I mean, at least speaking for me, I'm able to get through those moments of the script that maybe aren't the most exciting and entertaining, but they're just necessary for the script to move forward.
Right.
That way it's easier for me to get through those moments knowing that I'm going to a place of excitement that I'm going to stop at versus if I was to stop at a moment of just a script lull.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, well, now I got to get back and I got to finish this shit. But if I'm stopping in spots of the script that are retaining my excitement, it's getting the passion and the drive for wanting to create and write more stronger. It's fucking weird.
I'm going to have to try the approach.
Yeah. And again, it's not a perfect science. It's just, I'm having a really good time. I'm stopping. But then and again, like I got to this point and I was excited. And when I stopped, now I can say like, I don't pat myself on the back. Oh, job well done. You did 15 pages today. But I'm like, all right, I hit a goal. Sweet. And I move on.
Right.
I don't sit and obsessively think about the story. But I'll be honest with you. Last night when I was done, I was thinking about the fucking story, And then when I woke up this morning, I was just like, oh, fuck, I can't wait. I can't wait, to jump back into it. So, I mean, for right now, it seems interesting,
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it a shot and see what happens.
I mean, it sounds cool.
Yeah. So
It does sound cool. It sounds like a positive tool, but at the same time, man, it's more new information that we got to wrap our heads around.
Mm-hmm.
This is new shit.
It is, dude. Like, and that's the thing is approaching filmmaking from this aspect has been so freeing. Like it actually has. Like, I feel so much more focused and content about what I'm doing in the film industry versus, okay, I'm going to write a script. Now I got to try to find $2 million and locations and crafty and fucking wardrobe and effects and locations, and just, it's such a daunting task to undertake, and it's like approaching it from, okay, now I can write whatever I want and just put it out there, and see what happens. It's I don't want to say liberating, but it's very freeing creatively. And I'm having a good time with it. I'm able to focus on the show. I love the show, and I hope everyone loves the show. And if they do, they should tell us how much they love it, and they should also share it and get the word spread as well. But
5195podcast@gmail.com.
It's like, I love the show. I love doing this. And, I love this aspect of filmmaking. So I'm excited for, what's to come now. I'm not saying I'm never going to, I'm never making a movie again, but I think it's just now going to be the perfect scenario to make a movie.
Right.
And if not, then I have some really fun gifts to be able to put out there and to have some people that are ready to make a movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
that would be pretty fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, I think so. We'll see. I can't wait for you, to when you get here, just so I can show you everything, and then you can start, if you feel so inclined to, trying to take this route as well.
I mean, to me, it sounds cool. It's very Uncharted,
It is for me too. It really is. I mean, I like where I'm at. Now I'm like, I can just do what makes me happy. And writing has always made me happy.
Sure.
And it's not that I don't like being on set, because being on set is fun, the camaraderie and the family and, just the creative process and the problem solving. It's fun. This is just so much more freeing to just be able to sit at my laptop and, have a cup of coffee or, whatever it may be, and just create a world. Yeah. It's, and knowing like, okay, now I'm going to turn these babies loose for other people.
Yeah.
And it's cool. It's different. I'm excited for it.
I think it's awesome that you've reached that point.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely different.
Big time different. Yeah, it is. So, but that's where I'm at, with the writing and shit. So we'll see.
That's good, man. I'm still juggling just the two right now.
Yeah.
And then, of course, when we get back out there, definitely wrapping up vinyl.
Mm-hmm. Very excited for that.
Me too. So yeah, we got good shit in the works. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it is.
It's going to be a good trip.
It is going to be a good trip. I'm excited. We have, knock on wood, we have some, interviews lined up, and hopefully everything goes according to plan. Scheduling is always a bitch, but, being able to drop a few interviews along with, some of the cool show ideas that we have, it's going to be nice. It's going to be a nice working trip.
I think that, the show's going to turn a corner soon.
I do too. I've been feeling that.
Yeah.
I've been feeling that.
I think we're moving up and, maturing.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, what are we at? Like 35, 36, episodes consecutively? It's like that. I'm very proud of. I'm very, very, very proud of what we've done. The commitment that we've made, not only to each other, but to the show,
Absolutely.
And it's just been a fucking amazing time.
And it's growing organically.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not, the stuff that's coming that we've talked about that we haven't disclosed yet or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's going to be like people are going to go, oh God, they're doing this now.
Yeah.
No, I think it's like, oh,
yeah,
you guys have graduated.
Yep.
Okay. So we get a little bit more for our listening pleasure.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
no,
I think it's going to be good stuff.
I agree. I totally agree. Speaking of good stuff. So last week's show.
Yeah.
I don't know if you listened to it again, but I mean, I listened to it, and it was so much fun It was super fucking informative. You know, I was able to send you that list of some anime to check out.
Oh yeah, the genres that we wanted to look into.
Yes.
Deeper.
Yeah. I pretty much hit all my marks on everything that I wanted to discuss, but I know you had more that you needed to get out. So I was thinking maybe we should just finish that topic up.
Okay. Yeah, yesterday my brother stopped by. It might have been a couple of days ago, and he was like, "Listen to your show," and I thanked him. And he goes, "Yeah, my buddy, he referenced a few anime for you," and I was like, "Oh, cool." And he happened to he told me about a couple that you had mentioned as well.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, "Okay, well, those two are obviously impactful, But then my brother goes, "You were gearing up to say your second." And then it didn't happen. I was like, I thought about it after we recorded, and then I completely forgot about it. And I was just like, it was what it was.
Yeah.
But he goes, yeah, if you get back on, and I didn't even remember to tell you this time. So I'm glad you brought it up. And the only thing was the other genre I wish I watched more of, and with the caveat that you had with the foreign films, is the older side. Westerns.
Oh.
Because I'm not a huge Western guy, but I've liked the ones I've watched, and most of the ones that I really enjoy are the older. I'd actually go out on a limb and say spaghetti Westerns mostly.
Okay.
Because I'm a huge fan of the Man with No Name trilogy.
Yeah.
I love the original Django.
Okay.
With
Franco
Nero.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I don't know what it is about those. It's just, they feel like home. And the thing was, I used to watch Westerns mostly with my grandfather, my late grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
What was funny was, he watched them all.
Yeah.
There was just always a Western on at his house. But he wasn't like just a, say, John Wayne guy.
Okay.
Because I know in America, here in the States, it's like John Wayne, Glenn Ford, or bust. You know? And it's like, I like the Duke as much as the next guy, but I'm more of an Eastwood guy or a Jimmy Stewart guy, or I always like James Arness,
Yes.
But I do really like the Spanish and Italian Westerns, man. There's there's a grit to them that I really dig.
Yeah.
And you don't see it much today, obviously. Probably my favorite Western today, like as far as modern, is still probably Tombstone.
Okay.
Tombstone is just a phenomenal movie. I love Silverado, Unforgiven, but there's just something about the Westerns that came from that era that feel more genuine, I guess, and a little more, a little more plot driven as opposed to just shoot 'em up.
Yeah.
So that was the other one for me, was more or less just, can I find more older, preferably European Westerns that I had not really...
Are you opposed to American Westerns, or do you want them to be foreign?
Not at all.
No.
Not opposed at all.
Okay, because I don't have anything against the spaghetti Westerns, or the Spanish Westerns, but because I'm a huge Western fan, and I actually do own a ton of Westerns.
Sure.
And of course I am a John Wayne fan, and I love him. I love the Westerns from the fucking 30s, man. Like with him when he was super, super young.
Yeah.
Dude, I love the 30s, the John Waynes. I mean, like, what is it? The Man from Monterey. I have that. Stagecoach, Blue Steel, Riders of Destiny. Like, I'm a big John Wayne fan when he first started, in 30s, and
before the legend grew.
Yeah, because then you could tell that, he was just resting on his laurels, which there's nothing wrong with that. That's okay. That's
Not
fine.
at all. In fact, one of my favorites by him is one of his last, The Shootist.
Oh, yeah, The Shootist is a great movie. Yeah.
It's a phenomenal movie.
I love Jimmy Stewart Westerns. I mean, they're...
Oh, yeah. I love the Man Who Shot Liberty Valance.
Oh my God, dude! Yeah, Winchester 73, fucking Far Country,
Right,
Naked
yeah.
Spur, like and another thing that I love too, Western wise, is do you remember the Twilight Zone Western with Lee Van Cleef?
Was it an episode?
Yes, it was an episode. It was all shot on a soundstage, and I think it was called. Oh my God, I want to say it was called The Grave. I could be fucking wrong. But was like Lee Van Cleef, I think Lee Marvin, It was just rad. It was just the setup, like the production design, the way the thing was set. It was like in the middle of like a dust storm, and it was at night, and it was late at night, and the wind is howling, and like there's no soundtrack, it's like just the elements, with the wind and like the boots on the wood floors and the saloons, and just all of the unsure noir type, like who's bad, who's good, all this shit, lots of mood in this one. And it's fucking cool, man. I love Westerns. Like I've always loved Westerns, as a little kid, like, and it wasn't something that I was, I wasn't shown them by like an uncle or, a dad. And I found them on my own. And there was, I was a big fan of Lone Ranger. And so,
oh, sure.
Like it kind of grew from that. And then, reading comics and stuff. And yeah, dude, I'm a big Western fan. Like I am. Like I'm writing a Western, but it's a horror film. So,
yeah, which is, those genres have they've blended successfully. Mm-hmm. In the past, there's a lot of good ones.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, I guess I can even take it a step further and go to the East and say I haven't really seen my share of old kung fu flicks.
Oh, really?
Just martial arts movies. I've seen a handful. I've seen all of Bruce Lee's.
Uh-huh.
But there's like a whole world of the Shaw brothers that I barely dipped a toe into.
Oh, God. Yeah.
I've seen some early Jackie Chan, which is just amazing, the stunt work he would do. So it's kind of in the same vein, but it's like, again, older.
Yeah.
I want to go back and kind of get the roots, know, and just have fun with that.
Oh, my God. Well, then don't make me fucking make 2 lists for you to check out for Westerns and martial arts movies.
Please, go for it. I don't care, man. I mean, I got to know where to start.
Arrow actually has a ton of really solid Western and martial arts movies.
They do.
Yeah.
Yes. Arrow's great for that.
They are.
I've got, I don't know why I'm looking around in here. This is all my horror shit, but.
Surrounded by 7,000 horror films.
Exactly. I'm looking around like I've got, these Westerns or martial arts movies just kind of peppered in.
Yeah.
But no, I bought, I don't think it was Arrow, actually. I think it was 88 Films, which is an import label.
Uh-huh.
But they had released the Police Story trilogy.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Like the original as a box set.
Yeah.
A really big box set.
Yeah.
And it was, I believe it was Police Story 1 and 2, and then the third one is what over here is Super Cop, because all of his shit got retitled when it landed over here.
Right.
But I bought that box set, and then there was another one. It was I think it was another. No, there were 4 of them in this box, but it was with oh gosh, she just won the Oscar for Everything Everywhere All at Once. See, this is why I got to watch more of them because the names are slipping me here.
Yeah.
But she had apparently done 4 movies that were released in a box set that I'd never even heard of, and it was on sale, and I just grabbed it. But it was like a cop series. I'm scrolling around online right now. I can't even find it. Yeah, I mean, I've kind of popped in and bought a thing or two here and there, but I really want to do a deep dive at some point. Here it is. They were called In the Line of Duty. So In the Line of Duty, box set 1 through 4, and it's this really cool, lavish box set. It just looked badass, and I'm just like, I'll take a chance.
And so you got it?
Yeah, I got it. And it's just, I haven't popped them in yet. I figured that's just one that I could go into completely blind.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's Michelle Yeoh, who was in a lot of the Police Story movies with Jackie Chan, and she was even a Bond girl at one point, and obviously Everything Everywhere All at Once just threw her up through the fucking roof. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I guess this was one of her series. It had at least one of them, Royal Warriors, which I guess is the second one. It's got my man Hiroyuki Sanada, who was in the original Ring. He plays Scorpion in the live-action Mortal Kombat that just came out. Dude's in fucking Avengers Endgame, John Wick. He's just another one that he's been around forever, but over on our shores, kind of just blowing up, but it's like you go to his IMDb and this guy's been working forever. He's old news where he comes from.
Wow, that's cool.
So it's stuff like that where I'll go down this rabbit hole on IMDb and be like, oh, this is a series? Oh, it stars this guy?
Yeah.
And then I'll just kind of keep going. And then obviously between, I think, Shout Factory, there's several other boutique agencies that there's got to be hundreds of Shaw Brothers films.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know where to start with those.
Well, I think if you were to get those 2 box sets that Arrow put out,
yeah,
the Shaw Brothers box sets, yeah, that's probably it's volumes 1 and 2. They're fucking pretty healthy.
Pretty decent ground zero to start at.
Yeah, definitely. I think they're coming. I don't know. I thought they were going to come out with a 3rd version, but I could be wrong. But yeah, it's
I know the Black Society trilogy.
Okay.
From Arrow.
Okay.
What is this? Oh, well, here's the Western Blood Money.
Blood Money's
Volume
great.
2.
Yeah.
So that's cool. I'm trying to find some of the Shaw stuff.
Yeah, if you check out those Arrow box sets, they're fucking nuts. I have both of them. Yeah, I have. I think there's 12, 13 movies on each set, I think.
Holy shit. You're not kidding. I know Arrow put out the Django movies with Franco. I never did pick those up. I need to grab those.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to find them here. Maybe they're sold out. Oh, here's one that I got that's it's not really horror, but it's almost like exploitation. But the Female Prisoner Scorpion box set. It's supposed to be pretty fucked up. They got Giallo box sets over here I could check out. Hand of Death.
Great.
That sounds fun.
I believe that's John Woo as well, I think, and like Sammo Hung and Jackie Chan.
No shit.
Yeah.
Limited edition, too.
Before they were anyone. I think this is some of their first stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what I'm talking about. That's kind of where I want to...
You want ground floor shit.
Kind of, yeah. And especially with someone like Jackie Chan, who was such a stuntman.
Mm-hmm.
That was back when he was like, I don't give a fuck. I will throw myself over a helicopter. You know?
Yep.
He was insane back in his prime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's one I want. Arrow has New Fist of Fury, which is like basically like part 2 of Fist of Fury, like the Bruce Lee movie. And I think it's the same director as Fist of Fury. But Jackie Chan, because he was a stuntman in Fist of Fury.
Yes, I did know that.
And then, then he went on to star in like the new Fist of Fury with the same director. So I know Arrow just put that one out. So I'd like to get my hands on that one.
Oh, I found the Shaw Brothers box
sets.
Yeah, there's like 3 of them here. These would be different. Each one says 4 movies a piece.
Okay, no, there's
this rectangle one that says Shaw Scope Volume 2.
That's I have 1 and 2 of that one.
This says 14 Shaw Brothers classics.
Okay.
So that must be what they're talking about. This big fucking,
Yep.
box.
Yep.
This looks dope. This is really fucking cool.
Yeah. And what's dope is if you get it during the 50% off, you're getting it for like fucking $75, man, which is fucking crazy.
It's a steal for a box this big. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this is really huge.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I didn't realize Arrow would put out the Sister Street Fighter collection.
Yeah. Yep.
Boy, yeah. I got some research to do.
Yeah, no, definitely. I thought, once you get here, maybe that would even be, we'll talk about it after the show. I think it'll be something cool to do, for another show.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
But yeah, like I said, I'll make some lists for you. Maybe while you're here, we can go and kind of maybe knock a couple off the list that you want to watch that I already possess that you just want to see. And then maybe there's a couple that you want to own. We can just go somewhere and, pick them up while you're here.
Yeah, we can look around and see what's what.
Twist my arm to go to Amoeba.
Ooh, we don't want to do that.
well,
there's a couple other places you said you wanted to.
There is.
Show me.
There is. There's a few places that I'd like to show you. Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, this is our last one. The next one that will be heard is going to be Face to Face.
We're probably gonna stockpile a shit ton, so
I think so.
It's gonna be a good trip.
Yeah. Well, you're in the air now, so
yep,
you're up there.
I'm probably trying to sleep during some turbulence or some crazy
Probably.
shit. But
Yeah, well, I'll be patiently waiting at the airport.
yeah, keep that stomach empty so we get some norms.
Oh, big time. I'm ready for that.
Some norms.
Yeah, it's going to be fucking awesome. So, fun as usual, and looking forward to seeing you when you get here.
Sounds good, homie.
All right, brother. Well, until next time.
See you guys.